Or there's fish there that won't eat. But I don't know if they're catching fish in the shallow stuff because it's just a different concept. And it holds true. Some of the initial emails I got from Ned when I started doing this, way back when I looked at this goofy little worm I was never going to throw, were about guys catching 7 and 8 pound fish in 38-degree water in 10 feet of water. And I thought, this is ridiculous. How do you do this? Well, it can be done. We had a gentleman from Ozark Anglers who caught one about 6.5 out of beaver last winter in a brush pile in about 10 feet of water. And the fish, there are always fish that just won't leave that shallow water. They just won't eat a crankbait. They won't eat a snake. They won't eat a jig. The power guys will tell you there's fish up there, then they'll go run the whole lake trying to catch it. We'll say we're going to pick an area and we're going to try to catch every fish in it. We're going to fish the shallow first. And that's really the biggest concept of it. They're not active, they're not feeding, but you can catch them if you put a little bait by them and let them look at it. They may not even look at it. I don't know that they can even see it. Our water's so dirty around Kimberlin right now that you can see a foot and a half, 3 feet in places, but that's about it. And I fished it during the floods. I fished it last summer when we had high water. I fished it in 2011 when we had high water, and it was a little clearer. I fished it in 2012 when we had that big algae bloom. I fished it back in Kansas City where you can't see a foot on a good day in our lakes because they're just mud. And the fish still managed to find that little bait, no rattle, no flash, no anything to it. They were still absolutely well. I really think on smallmouth in particular, if you put that bait around them, that it will sort of trigger a hunting instinct. That they will look for it. I think smallmouth like to hunt more than the other fish do. The fish like to feed. Smallmouth like to kind of kill their food. That's the way I think about smallmouth. I'm a smallmouth guy, and I like to think about them being killers. It's just me. That's how they act anyway. But that's it. It's regardless of water temp. I mean, if I went to Table Rock in February, I would start in 5 or 10 feet of water, and I would start looking for fish out. Now, I wouldn't look for them in the same place I look for them in April. And that's one of the things we'll get to here next. Is that where you start looking. And it also comes down, in terms of this mentality, it's about really slowing down. And it's not just slowing your presentation down, it's about slowing your boat down. It's not good enough with this little bait, throw your bait out and work it slowly, and sit here and do this with it if you're going to make one throw and going down the bank. If you're not going to maximize the opportunity that bait gives you. You've got to sit in that spot and try to catch every single fish. And that's the way I think. If I pull on a point, if I pull on the side of the secondary point and I catch 2, I may not leave for 3 or 4 hours. I'll fish it until I think I've caught every fish conceivably eaten that day. And I've had 2-week trips where I started my big motors and get on and off turn. I'd idle out, drop 20 motors, start fishing. Just keep fishing. Yes, sir?
How's the concept work in flowing water, like James River?
It's fantastic for flow. The one thing about flow is you do have to match the head size to the flow a little bit more. You know, and mostly you can find some slick water, some slack water fishing. You don't have to fish like real running water like you have in Virginia, but it absolutely cleans creek fishing. I mean, it really catches it. Absolutely does. So it's working. Yep. So the where's where I would start looking to. If I came down here in February, March, January, early March, winter time basically, December even, I would start looking at same places you throw a stick bait or an anchor. Your bluff ends, bluff end toes, steeper places got a little bit of a taper like that, got some mixed rock, chunk rock, ledgy rock to it. A lot of times those fish, you get a bright sunny day, maybe you've got 42-degree water, you're going to get bright sun, it's going to warm to 44. They'll pull around that bluff end, they'll get in that little bluff coat, and they'll just sun on those rocks. And you throw stick bait at them, you can throw a wheel wart at them, and you may catch some. If you get the wind blow on them, you may catch quite a few. But if you're not, you can throw that little Ned Rig in there and darn you can catch it. And in that shallow water, it's a big surprise. Transition rock places, and the same places you can throw all those regular wintertime baits. Spring into early summer, if you're looking at, and to me, spring, I think of like St. Patrick's Day, because March can be pretty wintry sometimes. It depends on how much snow we've got, how much cold weather we get coming in. So like St. Patrick's Day, on into really normally about the time we're right here, early June. The fish are going to be on those mixed rock places, and I particularly fish creeks. I know a lot of folks like to fish, like up the White, you fish all those little dips in the banks. And you've got places like, where's Baxter? Baxter's here, and coming around Baxter, you've got Cedar Hollow up in here, and all these little dips in the banks. To me, those are boom or bust places. They load up with fish, and they got a river channel right on or right close to them. And you'll go in there, the wind will blow, and they're just hammering. Go back the next day, the wind won't blow, there's no fish there. They just hit that river channel, and they swim right back out. I mostly fish big running creeks. I'll fish Little Cow, Schooner, Fisher, Mill, the bigger creeks that have flow coming into them all year long. And I know that if I come down and the fish haven't moved in, there are still resident fish available. I think there are always fish that just live in those creeks. I've got some friends who do the same thing. I've got a friend from Kansas who fishes down around the dam a lot, so he's got a place down there. He catches a lot of big, largemouth creeks in the winter. But he fishes just the same little creeks, the same little stretches he always fishes. He doesn't run around looking for fish in pockets. It makes a really big difference if you target those creek fish instead of those cove fish. The cove fish are kind. If you can get them in the coves, by all means, you can catch them. But I just don't like the fact that I can go back the next day to catch them necessarily. Pea gravel. A lot of folks are fixated on fishing pea gravel with this bait, and there's some sure fish up there. I think some of that's my fault. When I started doing it, first started putting reports up about it, making little videos about it, I showed a lot of pea gravel. I was fishing an open hook when I started. Gopher's not a weedless head. The Outcast head I was using wasn't weedless. I was using some little ball heads that don't really work well for it originally. And pea gravel was kind of what you were limited to, or little ugly places between knots, because you wouldn't get hung up constantly. You still get hung up, but not quite as bad. And pea gravel's okay. They'll get on it, and you can for sure catch them there. Pea gravel, I think, is responsible for sort of the idea that it has the potential to catch just hundreds and hundreds of 12-inch smallmouth, which it does. And I don't mind it. I go fishing to catch fish. I don't know about you folks. I don't fish tournaments. I have guys ask me all the time about why does it catch so many little fish? Because fish eat it, It catches walleye, it catches catfish, it catches crappie. Don't like catching fish, don't throw it. It's kind of that sort of bait. But pea gravel in particular loads up with the little rounds. And I think that's where it gets some of that reputation too. I fish a lot of mixed rock. I fish a lot of rock that I consider to be gravel with, say, chunk rock that's about that big, like big marble size, maybe fist size at most, but not the pretty banks, not the table rock postcard kind of banks. There are banks that look like this, but they've got that mixed rock on, maybe they got some bushes on them. And for the most part, places I like to fish have that sort of table like that, but they've got a sneaky little drop somewhere. They've got 3 casts out behind you, it goes off into 60. And it's not so much a roll-off, but a drop, actually. That's where I would look for in the springtime. Secondary points like that, little stretches like that in creeks. If I'm down here in the spring trying to fish on Ned Rig, and if we get a front comes through, usually I'll go up in more deeper creeks, like Whites or Little Cow, something like that. It's got a little more taper to the banks than some of the flatter creeks, and fish some of that chunkier, slabbier rock with some wood. It seems like after the front they go right back to that stuff and you can catch them against the car. That sort of deal. As we work a little warmer, normally there's a really good gravel bite. That pea gravel just kind of comes back into play after the spawn, and the guys drag football jigs and whatever else on that kind of thing. We'll fish the little deal on it. We'll target very specific places. We'll target ditches. We'll target high spots, humps, like full-blown humps. When I say a high spot, I'm talking about something the size of that table, something little that you kind of have to nose there. You can see the runoff ditches a lot of times come to those where the rain runs down. Those will hold fish. The state brush piles are fantastic. Missouri's got that website out there where you can just look it up and you can print off every one, or you can load them in through GPS and run to them. Now, a lot of those brush piles are old. They've had some of them in there since, I think, 2008, 2009 when they worked on that last big project. So a lot of the brush is gone, there may be one stick sticking up left out of it. But that's plenty to hold a fish, especially when you're fishing a little bit of bait around it. Sometimes you may just have the anchor system around it, wherever they use to sink it, and that'll hold fish. And we catch a lot of fish off just really nondescript stuff. You can't really graph it, you gotta have to feel around for it, and just sort of know where you're looking for it. And feel it. Sometimes you can drag a football jig through there, or a Carolina rig, and bump something, the fish will need it necessarily, but you can go back through there in the net and throw it. If you get into later summer, and folks think these fish aren't shallow, you can still catch them shallow. They're going to be up eating shad first thing in the morning. Right now we've got 85, 86 degree water down there all over the place, and first thing in the morning they're up just full of shad. Every fish you catch is stacking up 3 or 4 shad for about that long, and it just adds to the gorge. It lasts till about 7:30. After that, it slows off right now. And if it heats back up in the day, they seem to push off and get more around wood, brush piles, especially down there and that stuff. Kind of going in after them, which is where the little weedless heads come in. The other deal you can do in the summer, you can fish around pilings, for sure. Ned fished a day down here with Evan Evers a few years ago. They just tore them. And they fished a little different bait than the Zinker Z, but they were fishing it over pilings and over wood, kind of for suspended fish. And that really works pretty well. Fishing around docks, a lot of dock corners, the guys that swim the kayak, you can swim that little boat down through. Or the guys are spooning docks, you can swim that little Ned down through there instead and still catch them in the summer. Doing that. And then as you get in the fall, you know, we all like to flip docks in the fall. Smallmouth get up there and with brown jigs in there. Docks will they'll eat that thing fast. The other real big place in the fall are the washout holes on the end of boat ramps. And those are kind of always good all year long, but in the fall, for whatever reason, they really come in there. They really like to eat that little man. I don't know if it's crawdad thing or what it is, but it holds up. How to fish it? How you guys who fished it, how are you fishing? Are you shaking it? Are you swimming it? Are you hopping it? Just bouncing.
As little as possible.
The fact that I think a lot of folks down here are fishing it more or less like a tiny shaky net. They're fishing it out there, and they're, see if I can do this without putting this gentleman's leg. That always ups the entertainment factor, though. I'm pretty good with the braided line trick. I don't have a braided line. But they'll sit there and they'll fish that worm out there, and they'll tighten right down to him and shake it. And they'll shake it and hop it up and move it like that. Alright? The thing that I do most of the time is I'll fish that worm out there, and I'll let my slack line, I don't know if you can see that, that's a good news. But I'll let that slack line just lay there like that. And I won't move that bait an inch. And it'll sit there on whatever you throw it on. Just like that bottle we sent around, that worm sitting there kind of doing its own thing. That's what that worm's doing on the bottom. We shot some video a couple of years ago. Did some video of the retrieves, and we had a swimming pool accessible down here at the lake. And we went and did it. And it'll just sit there with any little water movement and move constantly. You don't need to shake it, you don't need to hop it, you don't need to do anything to it. Especially if you're inactive, that just crushes fish. It's just leaving it absolutely alone. It's like fishing a gobble worms for catfish. Just throw it. Watch a squirrel run up on the bank. Don't try to overthink it. I had a gentleman who used to guide out of Kimberlin City. He moved to Florida now, but he's a very good friend, Billy Ritchie. And he wanted to go fishing with me one day, a couple of years ago, because he was fishing it, but he didn't think he was catching as big a fish as he should have been, or as many fish maybe as he should have been. And we went out, and of course, I'm just a guy, you know. I like to fish, and I think I'm halfway okay at it, but I'm not a great fisherman by any means. Here's a guy who gets paid to fish, wants to go out and fish with me. Out of the back of my boat. I'm like, okay, I know how this is going to go, right? It's going to be a long day for me. Well, we started fishing, and he had it tied to 8-pound line on a shaky bait line. Pretty stiff, kind of falcon sort of rod. I was fishing this old stick here long, and just soaking it, just like it said. I think in the first hour, I had him down like 12 to 1. The keeper's in there. About that time, he looked around at me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I don't know, I'm just fishing." And we see, he put the rod down, started watching it. So you're not moving that thing at all. You're just letting it lay on a slack line. Right? How do you feel it? I said, "I don't." You know, the way Ned teaches is it's no-feel fishing. We've written article after article. You're not supposed to feel the bait. You shouldn't feel it. You almost shouldn't feel the fish if you get to that point where you can kind of just detect them when you pick up on it. But you're throwing that bait out there. You don't want to feel it. You don't want to tight line it to the bottom. You don't want to move it too much on the bottom by tight lining it. When you do that, you end up, instead of hopping that bait an inch or two, you're moving that bait 3 or 4 feet. And you're really defeating the purpose of what the bait is for. That's a really super soft bait. Fish will pick it up and sit there and hold it. Smallmouth in particular will pick it up, sit there and chew on it. So really, even with the slack line, I don't have a lot of trouble figuring out when a fish has it. I'll every so often, on that slack, I'll go to just raise it up, and I'll try to shake the slack. Rather than moving the bait, I'll just pick it up enough that the slack bounces. And when you do that, if one's got it, and you can bounce it on his head like that, usually he pulls back. And it makes it pretty easy to stick. It's not a problem. My kids have done it, and we don't. I had guys when I started slacklining, they said, oh, you're going to kill a whole bunch of fish, you're going to deep hook all of them. Gosh, we deep hook maybe 2 or 3 fish a year, 4 fish. And compare that to a tube or a split shot. I think it's a way better percentage. I think just because of the way they pick the bait up, the way they eat the bait, that it's not really a problem. The other way I fish it is a slow swim. And that's really different. When I've had some guys in the back of the boat who were local down here who came out with me, they saw me swim it, and they used to swim in a grub or swim bait or something like that. They never thought of swimming that bait. When the fish get up to spawn codes and they get up and they actually start bedding, you can throw that little bait on that 16th-ounce head, and as soon as it hits the water, start shaking it and just slow turning and reeling. You want to shake it pretty hard, not like bouncing it, but kind of shivering. And what it does is it actually rocks back and forth on its axis like this. It sort of flashes at them, and you can run that right over the top of where they're cruising or where they're bedding, and it'll catch them just as fast, if not faster than a wacky one, catch them faster than a fluke. There's just so much less there. They'll come up not at all as skittish about it. And you can really clean up and spawn cones if you could do it that way. I'll swim it around chasers. We had a great topwater bite right before I got here, which is how topwater bite always works out for me. But even if you've got singles coming up, instead of reaching down and picking up a grub or redoing and trying to grab a spoon or a spoof or something like that real fast, I'll just grab that net that I've already fished and just chuck it in there and swim it through those chasers. They eat just like you turn a rope on it. It works great for that. The only other big sort of retrieve that I use, I do shake it a little bit like a shake it every once in a while, especially with a piece of cover with it. If the wind blows, and this was kind of a misconception about this bait when I started fishing, and I think for a lot of people, they'll fish it until the wind blows 20 miles an hour and then they put it down and pick up a spinnerbait. Or they put it down and pick up a crankbait and then they go power fish because you've got power fish in the wind. I grew up fishing the wind. What's the difference between fishing this in the wind and fishing the drum? Still 6-pound line, still a spinning rod. You're still fishing slow. I'll tell you what, when you get those stupid smallmouth days that come through in April and it's cloudy and windy and cold and nasty and it's blowing 20-30 miles an hour, if you get your boat close to your fish, and from here to the back of this room would be too far. From here to maybe our gentleman in St. Louis had here in the blue shirt would be about right. Little short cast, and don't try to throw down the net. Don't try to cover water with it. Throw it right at it where you've got line control on it. You're still not trying to feel it. You're not going to feel it when, trust me. You're not trying to feel the bait or control the bait, but you want to control how much line is where, so that your line's not clear up in the air while you're trying to fish. Put your tip down right at the water, and it almost ends up being like dragging a tube or a split shot. And you just kind of let the wind either blow you along if it's that bad, or if you got enough trolling motor to fish into the wind, which I believe in big trolling motors. Fish into the wind as much as you can, and just kind of let it bounce on its own, drag it, twitch it, shake it, reel up your slack, drag it along, almost more like your split shot. That little bait, or drag it too, and you can just crush smallmouth. You can't make long casts because you can't do it in the wind; it won't throw. If you get real close to your fish, you can still fish it. And I fished it up to about 30-35 miles an hour in the wind. And there's not a lot of good reasons to be on the lake at 35 miles an hour. Smallmouth is the only one I can come up with. I had a real good friend who comes down and fishes with me every spring. He comes down for 3 days. I hate to cheat him out of the day if it's blowing 35. But it does work that way. Otherwise, the big deal is just slow it down. And it's no matter how you're fishing, even if you're going to hop it, shake it a lot, slow down and try to pick that cover apart. I read a book a couple years ago. I was trying to get into swim baits. And I mean like the swim baits the size of a lead kind of swim baits, you know, just for kids, just to see if I could catch some. We had a guy down here who was catching some good fish on it. I thought, well, I'll try it. And all the swim bait guys recommend this book called Pursuit of Giant Bass by the late Bill Murphy. He's known as Uncle Bill Murphy. Some of you folks, maybe you've been bass fishing as longer than I have, will remember a guy who used to stitch worms by hand, called it stitching. He used a great big rod, he'd throw a great big crazy looking 16-inch worm, and he would pull it by hand in these San Diego lakes out in California. And he caught great big fish. Well, he would also double anchor on a spot and fish it for 4 or 5 hours. And I didn't learn a thing about swim baits out the book. I didn't learn a thing about catching 7 or 8 pound bass. So I'm just not very good at it. But I learned how to pick pieces apart. And I went, and that was the year I went from fishing 4 or 5 places a day to fishing 3 or 2 places a day. And you almost wait fish out. You get on a good piece of cover where you know fish should be. If you don't catch them right away, you don't leave them. You just keep fishing. And you eventually, they will come through and you will catch them. You have that confidence to stay on that spot. Great book. If you get a chance to pick it up, it's fantastic. Reads a little strange. It's kind of dated. It's from late 80s, early 90s, and some of the baits are older than that. There's the long worms that came in 3-packs, but it's a great book. We'll just move on to bait stuff, because everybody likes to talk about baits, you know, and you've all seen the cut worm. How many of you guys have fished the TRD? But you like it better than the cut zinker, or have you fished the cut zinker? It doesn't soften up. It tears up, doesn't soften up. If you're going to swim it, it swims a little bit better than the cut zinker will, with less action. You want it to stub along. The only thing about it is it's convenient. It's right there in the pack. You can take it out and rig it up. And that's why they made it. At least that's why I think they made it. It catches fish. I've had some big days on it. I had some great big days this spring. That deal color we sent around, the only pack of baits I had in it, I had in a TRD. I don't even remember how I got it. I bought them somewhere coming through. I thought, well, I'll just try those.
Would you show us what it looks like?
You betcha. TRD is this guy right here.
He's talking about the zinger Z.
Yes, sir.
And I play with
Gotcha. Thank you.
baits at home in the bathtub and stuff.
Yeah, right on.
See how they float and stuff. The zinger Z's I've got seem like a rock.
Well, I'll show you the trick. This is a zinker Z in here.
Yeah.
All right. And you send that right along with it.
Is that where you stretch and get as much salt out
That's
of it?
where you stretch and get as much salt out of it as you possibly can. Yes.
There you go.
Um,
I won't throw mine away, you know.
we'll just address that while we're on it. This, I'll bring this out to you. That's about the stiffest zinker Z I think I've seen in a long time, right? I mean, it's stiff. It's got more salt in it than the Senko for sure. All right. Close your eyes. You don't want anybody getting salt. Watch the tail off it. That's what happens when they're hot.
Why put the salt in it if you're trying to get the salt out?
Well, they want the salt in it.
You have that happen along when they get real hot.
Hot weather is bad for it, that's
That's
for
your
sure.
old he's fishing like a sick.
So what we do is we take it, we stretch it, work it, and that salt will come on. Now what will happen is you're making little pores in the bait, salt cuts little holes in the bait, and as it cuts little holes in the bait, not only does the salt come out, but you're flicking it. More salt comes out of it, the air's going into it, water gets into it, and washes more salt out of it. And what do you end up with is you have a bait like this. Now I can take a brand new one and lay it in a glass of water. Let's go.
That's good, yes, no problem.
A zinker is easier to read. TRD obviously.
Could very well be.
It's a little fatter.
Yeah, and it is fatter for sure. It has a different body profile. I kind of think, and there's some others of us who do it a lot. You know, if you look at one of these heads and you look at the zinker Z when it's cut on there, and you compare that to TRD, that zinker sticks out a little bit around the edges. You know, it's got almost like a little flange on it, and some of us kind of think that helps. It slows the fall of the bait for sure. It also, I think, keeps the bait on the rocks. Just occasionally the odd crevice and all that. But that's it. You got a new one. If you got a zinker Z, if you got a fatty Z, it's got a lot of salt in it too. You just got to work it over. And if they're not hot, they won't be. But if they're not hot, the tails won't come off. I guarantee that. So if you sit there, I like to put the salt with my kids in the boat. I'll take a new one. If they aren't looking, I'll put the salt in. Give me one of those. But yeah, that's it. So the zinc disease primary bait for me. TRD I'll throw, you know, if I have it handy. The next one I go to is kind of interesting. This is a worm they make as a shaky worm or a wacky worm. It's called the fatty zinc.